It's actually really good for my current farming strat, which I'll be using to push level 100 in the HC race. Just because flame walls gives you a chance to create additional flame walls while you have burning damage taking on enemy. But this isn't unique to one enemy. If you're fighting a large pack of monsters, flame wall has a really high chance of multiplying tons and tons of times to make tons of flame walls, and you end up having really good damage even if you otherwise lack single target. Now it's a pretty straightforward build, so let's get straight into things. The simplest part of the build starts out with a passive tree. You can take any 2 points for basic skills because I don't use any basic skills at all, and then I also don't run any So let's get straight into things. The simplest part of the build starts out with a passive tree. You can take any 2 points.
Any 2 points?
It's for basic skills.
I don't think I can make this.
I don't use any basic skills at all, and then I also don't run any core skills at all, so just take these passives however you see fit. Some people prefer potent warding. I think resists have so little value in this game that it's really not worth taking.
Garbage.
So I just go for devastation, and elemental dominance does absolutely nothing.
Okay, I should reset my stats because I don't really have anything that's good anyways. Oh, I can just reset one thing. Oh, you have to hold. Okay. Not refund that node. Oh, you gotta... Oh, okay. Okay. I see. So maybe I gotta fucking nerf something.
You want to grab all...
Lucky hit, critical strikes have a chance to reset the cooldown of one of your defensive skills.
All 3 guard skills because you want to grab the masteries for these, the flame shield one, teleport for the DR over here, and then
Okay.
then ice armor. You can take... I happen to have ice armor on some gear, so I don't bother with it. But if I would consider taking mana regen. You know, it just depends on how you feel about your mana recovery based on your gearing. Frost Nova is the only skill for the defensive that you want to max out all the way, and this gives you a lot of CDR, and it's really powerful, not only because of the freeze, which is a good defensive layer, but also because it gives you vulnerability, a really powerful offensive scaling mechanism, a more multiplier in Diablo 4 basically. Down here at Conjuration, again, we skip everything because I don't use a single Conjuration skill, but I do take Precision Magic for Lucky Hit, and then I grab everything because I don't use a single Conjuration skill, but I do take Precision Magic for Lucky Hit, and then I grab Align the Elements, 3 nodes here, and then 3 nodes for Protection. I do skip Mana scaling mechanism, a more multiplier in Diablo 4 basically. Down here at Conjuration, again we skip everything because I don't use a single Conjuration skill, but I do take Precision Magic for Lucky Hit.
Oh shit.
And then I grab Align the Elements, 3 notes here, and then 3 notes.
What does that give?
Protection. I do skip Mana Shield because oftentimes I find that this isn't really up. The way that my playstyle goes is, for a single target, I'll spam Inferno, which makes all of your costs of Pyromancy skills free, so that won't proc when that's up.
That's what he was saying, okay.
And then otherwise, a lot of times I'm propping 3 cooldowns with no mana, and then just dropping 1 single firewall, which then kind of spreads or proliferates and multiplies into a lot of different firewalls. So this uptime isn't actually great. Here's where things get important. I max out firewall as much as possible and scale it a lot on gear, and then take this for increased damage, and then this for linger. I think this is what makes firewall playable. Finally,
Linger.
down here, just grab everything you can get.
Killing a burning enemy increases your mana generation for 10 seconds.
Again, if you have enough mana regen, you can just take 1 point here.
Every 1 second you heal for. Oh wow, okay, that's really good. Shit.
But this Endless Pyre is great for your
Yeah, I
damage,
understand
and
this build
Warmth
now.
is one of the most powerful defensive scaling mechanisms of the game, especially when you have persistent damage out. This is sort of like having Overleech all the time. Over here, I go for Combustion. It is a decent burning source, and I'm able to proc it through Flame Shield.
Your burning effects. Wait, what does that say? Your burning effects deal 2% increased damage per unique source of burning.
Firewall, and then also having Inferno, which is the ultimate ability that I'm grabbing. Forgot to mention that. Just take all 3 nodes. I've played with all the other ones. I think they're all decent. I think that S2's probably works, the first part at least, with the Paragon board that I'm running. And I would also consider taking Shatter Times to help out your clear, but I don't think it's really necessary. So
Shatter times to what?
Combustion is probably this. Veers, I think, also works just purely as a defensive mechanism that %, less damage taken. Something to consider, especially if you're on hardcore and want to survive, but not something I'm running right now. As far as enchantments, the first one's no brainer. The Firewall enchantment is absolutely insane for pack clear. And the second is the Flame Shield enchant. This is, for me, mandatory in my first run through of hardcore.
Oh wow.
Because I'm not really familiar with the damage sources and what monsters do, I really wanted to have a free cheat death mechanism. The other thing that I've seen people run is also Meteor. It's probably okay to take. I feel like the uptime on this isn't great, but it does help out, especially with giving you more source of burning damage, which, as mentioned before, will allow you to scale this fire damage from combustion more. The Paragon tree, which is the next big tree. First thing, mandatory in my first run through of hardcore, because I'm not really familiar with the damage sources and what monsters do, I really wanted to have a free cheat death mechanism. The other thing that I've seen people run is also Meteor. It's
Does
really
he pick
necessary.
Meteor?
Before things get important, I
He
max
does-
out Fireball as much as possible and
doesn't
scale it
take
a lot